I shouldn't make movies anymore. Should go to a lunatic asylum right away. Very much of it is too crazy and too just not what a man should do in his life. It's a strange story, a little bit Sisyphus-like story, a story of challenge of the impossible. The title itself, I will start with that, is derived from an Irish name, Fitzgerald. The leading character's name is Brian Sweeney Fitzgerald, and since nobody can pronounce his name in the Amazon here, he calls himself Fitzcarraldo, and he also founds a town with the name Fitzcarraldo. He crossed an isthmus from one river system into another with a boat. They disassembled the boat and put it together again on the other river. And with the help of 1,100 savage Indians, he moves the boat across this mountain ridge.
While the raiding party is away, Herzog films the traditional game of arrow catching, but he fails to get what he wants because the best arrow catchers are upriver with the raiding party.
In this case, we will probably have one of the last feature films with authentic natives in it. They are fading away very quickly, and it's a catastrophe and a tragedy that's going on, and we are losing riches and riches and riches, and we lose cultures and individualities and languages and mythologies, and we'll be stark naked at the end. We'll end up like all the cities in the world now.
The ongoing invasion of the jungle has made the Aguaruna Indians see every stranger as a threat, but Herzog assures them that he's not moving in permanently, and the local Aguarunas agree to let him shoot. Herzog needs Indians as actors and laborers, and the Aguarunas agree to that as well. Not everyone supports the Aguaruna Council. Although Herzog is only paying $3.50 a day, it's twice the going wage for Indian labor.
In the film, as they probably are not precisely in their normal life. They do things that they normally would not do. They act in that film, and that interests me even more. Yet they have an authenticity of their culture and their behavior, their movements, their language in it that will just disappear from the face of this earth. I don't want to live in a world where there are no lions anymore, or where there are no people like lions, and they are lions. Well, these people are watchmen for the night, because we have had an incident with a man who was attacked by arrows. That means there were 3 people, his wife, the man, and another young man. And the man was hit with an arrow through the throat and on the leg, and his wife was hit 3 times. I have not seen her yet, but apparently here in the hip and a little higher, and that was in complete darkness.
Nelson is one of the Aguaruna leaders who think the Indians should continue working for Herzog and his producer Walter Saxer. The tribal council has put out a warrant for his arrest, charging him with treason. Death threats are being made against him and the film company.
And they spread rumors we would slaughter them and take the grease out of their bodies and cook the grease, and that we would rape their women, and that we would do any kind of harm to them.
Klaus Kinski that has appeared in more than 150 films, everything from Dr. Zhivago to Herzog's Nosferatu. This will be the 4th feature he's done for Herzog.
perfekt machst nicht, aber da muss es richtig wie eine Betonguss, verstehst du?
The film crew is just as bored as the Indians. A series of bulldozer breakdowns and heavy rains have slowed filming to a crawl. People amuse themselves as best they can, but below the surface, anxiety and frustration are high.
You can't go anywhere, you can't escape of this fucking stinking camp because you never know when they call you, because you have to be here, because you're paid for, you're in the contract, so you can't just go. It means you are completely captured here. Completely. You go from there to there and from there to there, so what you can do.
Mal schrei ich oder schrei ich nicht? Und du sagst es mir nicht, aber ich schrei aber nicht. Leg mich doch am Arsch weg. Der Moment ist überhaupt gekommen, wo ich dir in die Fresse haue.
Mach zu. Trau dich nur.
Was schlag ich zusammen,
Trau dich nur.
Wenn du zu frech wirst.
This quarrel here, filmed as an aside, was with our capable production manager Walter Saxer. By some rare chance, I was not the brunt of it this time.
Euer Gewichse mit eurer Freundschaft, ich mich jetzt einen Dreck. Wir brauchen einen Fotografen. Verstehst du? Na mach doch deinen Scheiß!
The cause was trivial, and I myself, at the right of the picture, didn't bother to interfere because Kinski, compared with his previous outbreaks, seemed rather mild.
Von jetzt kriegst du überhaupt nichts mehr zu... Ja, gut, musst du nicht fressen. Musst es ja nicht fressen. Friss, was du willst.
Das ist ja schlimmer wie in die Zuchthauswärter, du Arschloch. Du willst mir bestimmt mal nichts zu fressen kriegen? Lass mir mal erleben. Das so ein Geisteskranker. Glück, ich so ein Geisteskranker. Komm, schaff den weg hier, diese Scheiße.
These ravings were really frightening, a real problem for the Indians, who solve their conflicts in a totally different manner. I believe that Kinski's fits can partly be explained by his egocentric character. Egocentric is perhaps not the correct word. He was an outright egomaniac. Whenever there was a really serious accident, this became an even bigger problem because all of a sudden he was no longer the center of attention. He was no longer important. Towards the end of shooting, the Indians offered to kill Kinski for me. They said, "Shall we kill him for you?" And I said, "No, for God's sake, I still need him for shooting. Leave him to me, leave him to me." And I declined at the time, but they were dead serious. They would have killed him undoubtedly if I had wanted it. I at once regretted that I had held the Indians back from their purpose. By the way, the proposal to do away with Kinski came from this chief.
Masato is also a ceremonial liquor that seals every important agreement. Fitzcarraldo has been invited to join his new comrades in a ritual toast, but Kinski is terrified of infection. The thought of drinking something that someone spit into is unbearable. After scrubbing out the bowl with bottled water, he pours in canned milk to substitute for the dreaded Masato. In the film, after the Indians pull the ship over the hill, there's a giant drunken party, and Fitzcarraldo passes out in his cabin. While he sleeps, the Indians release the ship. They have a dream of their own, in which they sacrifice the ship to the river gods. Fitzcarraldo stumbles on deck to find himself crashing through the rapids. His dream is shattered.
Do you have the strength or the will or the enthusiasm or so? And I said, how can you ask this question? It is, if I abandon this project, I would be a man without dreams, and I don't want to live like that. I live my life or I end my life with this project.